Welcome to today's interview with Alison, a qualified psychotherapist who runs Formby Counselling near Liverpool in the UK. Today we're talking about overcoming anxiety. Alison, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience working with people who are dealing with anxiety?
Yes, of course, David. So clients with anxiety experience symptoms both in the mind and the body. And initially, the somatic bodily symptoms actually dominate clients who may have previously consulted medical doctors or specialists before coming for psychotherapy, which is often as a last resort. Clients' experience of the somatic and sensory symptoms are explored in therapy first, with a discussion focusing on the part of the body which is anxious and attempting to understand the language or the hidden message behind the symptoms. So the therapist is really at this stage attempting to build bridges between the symptoms in the client's body by encouraging them to use metaphor and imaginative descriptions from their minds to verbalize the emotional experiences that are actually contained in the symptoms found in the body. This removes fear and avoidance of the symptoms in the client's body and hopefully replaces them with a curiosity to discover when did the symptoms first appear and what was happening in the client's early life and relationships at that time. So then the body becomes no longer an enemy in TA therapy, but really a vital source of information. So in TA therapy, a person develops what we call a life story or a life script, which is written very early on in life, usually under the age of 7. And it's formed out of the childhood messages that we receive from our parents about how to live our lives and how to get love and acceptance in relationships. With anxiety, the body gives therapists important clues in understanding the contents of clients' life scripts. And as the emergent therapeutic relationship grows between myself and my clients, I also begin to notice the feelings that I experience in my own body whilst working with my clients. So sometimes just sitting with a client, I might feel something in my own body. And this is called countertransference.
Wow, it's really interesting. There's a lot there, but could you still explain more about how TA therapy can help with anxiety?
Yeah, so as well as the life scripts, TA therapy is formed out of the idea that personality is made out of 3 parts or ego states: the parent, the adult, and the child. So your parent ego state is formed from the underlying beliefs and injunctions or messages that you learnt as children from your own parents or other people that looked after you. The adult ego state is the very logical part of you that makes decisions in the present moment based on facts. The child part is formed from our actual childhood experiences and interactions with our parents and other people who cared for us. Anxiety is often manifested or remembered in the bodies of clients as a result of traumatic experiences or dysfunctional relationships with their parents or caregivers very early on in their lives. It can also arise when a client may have tried unsuccessfully as a child to comply with a parent's negative instructions or messages in order to be loved. So, for example, be strong, be perfect, do your best. And they may have tried to carry them out into later life. In TA therapy, clients can learn to make friends with their bodies and not to see them as an enemy, and understand how their often negative life scripts or life stories may have impacted their lives emotionally and physically in their bodies. This newfound knowledge will empower the adult ego state or the adult part of their personality to make new decisions about the lives they actually do want to lead, and it enables clients to be compassionate towards themselves.
Okay. Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who's dealing with anxiety now?
So, my first piece of advice is to seek support, whether it's through talking with your friends or your families or joining a group. But seeking the help of a qualified therapist is important also. And it's important to have a support system in place to help you manage your symptoms and guard against feeling socially isolated. A second piece of advice would be to look after yourself, practice some self care. Take care of your physical health through exercise, diet, and getting enough sleep, as well as engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation.
Okay, I'll prompt you a bit further. Are there any other techniques or strategies that you've used in therapy to help individuals deal with anxiety?
Yeah, so another technique is mindfulness to help clients become more present in the moment and develop a greater self awareness and acceptance of their thoughts and emotions. So, we might use techniques like meditation or deep breathing exercises to help clients feel more grounded and calm.
Okay. How long does treatment for anxiety typically last, and when should someone consider seeking professional help?
Yeah, so the length of treatment for anxiety really depends on the individual client and how severe their anxiety is. But research has shown that TA therapy can be effective in reducing the symptoms of anxiety simply through greater self awareness. And it's important that you do seek professional help if you are experiencing symptoms of anxiety that may be interfering with your daily life. So these might include persistent worry, fear, or panic attacks, avoidance of certain situations or activities, or physical symptoms such as trembling and sweating or a rapid heart rate.
Are there any particular challenges that you've encountered helping people deal with anxiety?
So anxiety is a very individual experience, and what works for one person might not work for another. So we need to tailor the therapy to a client's specific needs and specific circumstances. And other challenges that anxiety is a very complex issue, and there may be underlying factors such as trauma or medical conditions that we need to address. So, in order to fully manage your symptoms, it's important to take a holistic approach and work with the client to identify and address all the factors that might be contributing to their anxiety.
Yeah, sounds like great advice. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the people who are watching or listening to this about overcoming anxiety?
Yes, so even though anxiety is on the increase in our changing society, it is a
Mm.
common and very treatable condition. And with the right support and tools, it's possible to manage and overcome anxiety and live a fulfilling life. Don't hesitate to seek help if you are experiencing symptoms of anxiety. And remember that you're not alone.
Yeah. Thanks, Alison. Again, some great advice and insights there. I think next time we're going to be talking about walk and talk ecotherapy.
Yeah, thank you, David. It was a pleasure speaking with you too.
Okay, we'll say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.